Hey guys, welcome to an all new episode of Unspoiled Territory. So today I'm going to give you a review of Mockingjay Part 1. So I'm going to do a quick overview that is completely unspoiled, so I don't give anything away to those who haven't watched the movie. And then right after that I'll go into a more detailed review about the movie for those who have seen it. Alright, so Mockingjay Part 1. Now I'm gonna say this right away that I don't think Mockingjay should have been split into two movies. I don't think there's enough story for it to have been split into two movies. I think they just did it to make more money. Which I still love this series, and obviously I'm still going to go see the movies, but I am a little prejudiced against some of the way they did things in the movie. Honestly, I think if they had split any Hunger Games movie, it should have been Catching Fire. I mean, come on, can you imagine if the whole first half, Part 1, had been like the tour and going into just so many things that happened in that book. And then if they had ended Part 1 with Katniss coming out of the tube into the arena and like you get a brief glimpse that it's like all water and then bam, Mockingjay Part 2. I said Mockingjay. Catching Fire Part 2 will be out at this date or whatever. Or Katniss will return in Catching Fire Part 2. But they didn't do things that way, so let's talk about Mockingjay Part 1. So as you know, at the end of Catching Fire, we left Katniss on her way to District 13, or in District 13. No, on her way to District 13. And Peeta's been captured, and Joanna Mason, who helped them in the arena. And Katniss, at the very end, gets informed that District 12 was completely destroyed by the Capitol. So Catching Fire is all about getting the rebellion, into full gear. And getting Katniss behind it and to be their symbol as a Mockingjay. And the people trying to get her to do this are President Coin, who is kind of taking over the District 13 rebels and running things. So in the midst of them trying to get Katniss to be their Mockingjay, she is worried about Peeta because the Capitol has him and doing everything she can to negotiate his rescue into her being Mockingjay. And we get a really good look at District 13, which was amazing. I thought they did it perfectly. It was almost exactly how I pictured it in the book. And of course, you have Gale and Katniss' sister Prim and her mother there. And of course, Haymitch and Effie. And it's great to see these returning characters and seeing Effie in an environment that she is not used to. That was a fantastic thing to see. Now, I'm not saying the movie wasn't good, but there isn't a whole lot to cover when talking about Mockingjay Part 1. Because, like I said, there isn't enough content in Mockingjay, the book. I felt that should have been split up into two movies. Not a lot happens in Mockingjay Part 1. It's a lot of getting in ships and going and looking at things and filming things. And that may sound like I'm putting the movie down, but I'm not trying to. I really enjoyed it. I think maybe I enjoyed it more knowing what's coming in Mockingjay Part 2. So unfortunately for Mockingjay Part 1, I can't say too much for those of you who haven't seen the movie because it would give too much away. But I would definitely recommend going to see it. They did a really good job. I still think they fleshed some parts of it out way too much because they had to fill up two movies. But everyone in the movie does such an amazing job, and I am clearly a Josh Hutcherson fan, but he is just phenomenal in the movie. And definitely Elizabeth Banks, who plays Effie. She does a great job playing Effie. Alright, you guys, go see the movie if you haven't. And if you have, keep watching, because I'll keep sharing some more thoughts about Mockingjay Part 1. Okay, so one of the things I really liked about the movie was I liked that you got to see a Mockingjay up close and personal. I thought that was cool that, you finally actually get to see what they really look like. And I mean, The Hanging Tree, my goodness. I mean, I still prefer this Christian singer named Jessie Daniels came out with her own version of it a few years ago, what she thought The Hanging Tree would sound like. She also did a version for Rue's Lullaby. They're both fantastic, and actually I think Jessie Daniels' versions are better than both the movie versions. But the Hanging Tree version in Mockingjay Part 1 was really good. It's really catchy, and Jennifer Lawrence does a superb job of singing it. And the way they incorporated it with the Rebels coming in and singing it too was pretty powerful. Now, I love that Josh Hutcherson stepped up to the plate, and he did not disappoint, because he usually just does such a good job acting like a sweet guy. I wondered how he was going to handle the very angry, very dark side of Peeta, and so far, I mean, obviously you don't get to see too much of him at the end of the movie, but so far I am very happy. And boy, did they have some good makeup, because he looked like crap. So one of the biggest questions I had going into Mockingjay Part 1 for the first time was, where are they going to split it? Obviously, if they split Catching Fire into 2 movies, it was an obvious choice where to split it. But with Mockingjay, how do you do it? My personal opinion, which is kind of what they went with, but kind of not, as you saw, I thought it would be cool if Katniss walks in, Peeta sees her, freaks out and tries to kill her, and bam, that's where they end it. It goes black. I mean, obviously they kind of went that direction. He turns on her, and I mean, she wakes up in the hospital wing, and they tell her what happened to him, and then you have the big old speech with President Coin. So I really liked how they ended it. And then, I mean, they end it with her walking in and seeing him all hopped up on Tracker Jacker venom and freaking out. That was kind of hard to watch. He's a really good actor and my favorite character in that series, so. And can I say that I really enjoyed that the only Gale-Katniss kiss was just really kind of blah. And I mean, Gale pretty much got the message when she kissed him. She don't want to kiss you. Because I really can't stand Gale, and the whole Gale-Katniss thing never made sense to me. It was so stupid. Ugh. So obviously after watching Mockingjay Part 1, a lot of the bulk of the good stuff of Mockingjay, the book, is going to be in Mockingjay Part 2. Because they flushed out that rescue mission scene so much. I mean, in the book, it was like, Katniss, they're going, Katniss, they're back. And that was it. And I mean, they just stretched it out, I thought, far too long. And I know they had to build the suspense for those who hadn't read the books. And like I said, just delay the movie so there would be a full-length movie. But that was one of the biggest issues I had with Mockingjay Part 1 is this. Like I said, I'm biased. They just stretched some things out far too long. Alright guys, if I missed anything, if you have questions about something else I thought about the movie, just let me know in the comments below. For those of you who have read the books, you know what's coming in Part 2, and you know that there's a few things that we're just going to be really excited for, and there's going to be some things that are just going to be soul-crushing. But it's going to be amazing. Alright, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you later.